is what So I'm on my way to a knitting date, and God has blessed us with a perfect knitting weather. I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people that feel my food. Hi, I am back from my knitting date. As you can see, we are back inside. You probably also noticed that now I'm in a sleeveless tank top. This is very typical Lisbon weather. I was just outside in the pouring rain in a cardigan, and now I'm inside full blazing sun in my kitchen. Typical April. If you're new here, my name is Susie, or also known as Caffeinated Granny. And here on the podcast, we talk about everything related to knitting and sometimes crochet. I had a really fun time with my knitting apprentice, as I call her. Last summer, we went on a trip to the Algarve, and she told me that she really wanted to learn knitting. She has sort of been following my knitting Instagram. She was saying it looks like so much fun, it looks so relaxing. We decided together that she would start with a project just because it's a little bit more motivating. The focus was mainly for her to learn a knit stitch and a purl stitch and be able to differentiate. I think that's super important for beginners to learn. I definitely could have had some further explanation, like what is a knit stitch, the anatomy of it, what does it look like, where are the legs placed, if you loose it off the needle, how do you put it back on the needle so that you don't twist it, all of these things. I also talk about it a little bit in my 15 knitting tips video that I'll link here so you can have a look if you're interested. We started with this classic ribbed hat, and to my surprise, it was a lot of fun for her. She got really addicted. She kept sending me WhatsApp messages after, like, look at my progress, look at what I'm doing. To the knitting date, I was super excited to take out my Anniken cardigan for the very first time. It's a pattern that I made myself, and I launched it last week, and I really love this pattern. I think it's so elegant. I mean, it's kind of weird to talk about your own pattern this way, but some of the testers said that it had like Cezanne vibes, which made me super excited. So this design took quite a long time for me to do. I started it in December, and I had a very sort of clear vision of what I wanted. I wanted a posh looking classic red cardigan. So I'm happy that the final result reflects what I had in mind initially, but I am a little bit disappointed though, because there hasn't really been that much interest in the knitting community, which is a shame because, you know, of course I had high hopes for this one. I was so excited about it. I thought it was amazing, but I guess that happens. You know, sometimes when you're designing, you don't know what will resonate with people, what will flop. But at least I got a really nice cardigan out of it, and the testers seem to be super happy with it as well, so that's cool. So yeah, but in any case, I'm having a lot of fun designing, so I'm just gonna keep going. And yeah, that's it. And the testers for the Anniken cardigan were super great as well. I had some advanced beginners in there, which was so helpful because they were quite often like questioning, why is it like this? Which was so great for me because then I had to really think about, because all the things that I did in the cardigan is very intentional, but I wasn't really describing why we were doing it this way. So having people that are beginners testing your pattern is really useful because it really forces you to rethink how you write things and how you can write things out in the simplest way possible. So that was super cool for me, a very nice learning experience, and the testers did a great job. And from like doing this more advanced knitting pattern, I realized that I really want to get more into tech editing. But me and Toto were like deciding, maybe you should take a tech editing course. And for now it's just for fun, so that I can get like more of an understanding of what it means to be a tech editor and what I should be implementing myself in my designs, like way I can make it more consistent, have a more consistent language, or make it just easier to understand. So I actually only have one finished object of this week, and it is, okay, be nice, it's my very first Portuguese knitting project. Isn't this cute? This is this Friday sweater baby version by Petite. It features these like Beautiful ribbing with some pearl details in here. Okay, my gauge looks better than I thought it would on camera. If you didn't check it out already, I have a whole video that I posted last week about me learning Portuguese knitting. A knitting style where you tension the yarn around your neck and use your thumbs mainly. Like, I love it. It's great. And I really want to keep doing it. This is for a little 1-year-old boy. His mom loves to dress him up in beige. Knitted up in Pergunt by Sannes Garn. This is like an almond color, and this is a brown color. So the main challenges for me here was to obviously have an even tension, which I didn't achieve, but I think it's even enough. Like, there's no obvious holes here or anything. The biggest challenge for me was tensioning the yarn around my neck. I didn't really figure that out. A lot of the times what would happen is that I would have the yarn around my neck, and then as I would knit, it would just get tighter and tighter and tighter, the thread, and then I would physically, with my own hand, move and get more thread. I think it would make sense, way more sense, if you just like, I don't know, if you do some sort of movement while you're knitting, so you don't have to like take the yarn with your hand and give yourself more yarn. So practice makes perfect. And other than that, in the beginning, I was learning a knit stitch that I thought was quite complicated. Or it wasn't complicated, it was just that it was so different from what I'm used to with continental knitting. So I wasn't getting a hang of it. I thought it was very awkward. And then on, I think the third day that I was learning Portuguese knitting, I learned a different way of doing the knit stitch by Andrea Webb. And then it was way quicker. It made more sense to me and it felt more intuitive. So now I just need to weave in these ends, and there's a couple of spots here on the side where I'm changing for the stripes. I did use a trick where basically once you have completed the round with one color and you're about to go and change yarn to knit the second row, you sort of go into the first stitch, go into the stitch below and pick up the right leg, and then you place that on the needle. Then you knit two together in the beginning, and that's supposed to make you avoid these sort of big steps when you switch color. I don't know what happened here. It just didn't work, but I think I just need to tighten these. Yeah, I probably just need to tighten my floats there. And then we're gonna get into whips. The whips at the moment, so I'm still doing the Haraboji cardigan by Aegyo knits. Since I talked about it in my last video, I actually got a lot of messages from people that were also sort of struggling with this design, which was kind of nice because now I have multiple people on Instagram where we said that we would keep motivating each other and like help each other out. This is what I love about the knitting community. People are very quick to collaborate and just cheer each other on. One girl was asking me, how do you do the cables on the wrong side? Because for a long time here you're doing the cables in the round, right? And then once you get to body, so how can I explain? This is what it looks like, okay? So you're starting on the sleeve and then you're knitting the way up, and then you cast on stitches for the body, and then you like knit this way. So once you go here, you start knitting flats, so you need to do cables on the wrong side. And she doesn't explain how to do that right. And it was quite difficult for me as well to get that right, just because you have to be really mindful and constantly check it, because you see how these cables, these lines are always either under or over. They don't go under and over like that. So that's the tricky part, to keep consistent. And as soon as I split and had to do it on the wrong side, you can see sometimes that there was mistakes there. When I picked it up yesterday, I ended up frogging this much, because I could see the cables like, wow, this is so bad. I'm okay with like 1 or 2 mistakes because you can't really see it. But at some point the stitch count was off. So I was like, okay, I just have to fix this. I have to go back and frog it. So I frogged it a lot. Now I still need to decide if I want to finish this, because better to finish it now once I have everything fresh in mind. But at the same time, summer is around the corner and I'm not gonna wear this. So it's really tempting to just like put it in the hibernating whip pile. Kind of nice not to be alone in figuring out this pattern, but I do want to say that it's a little bit difficult to follow because you have to be prepared to double check stuff and look at the images and sometimes figure stuff out yourself. I'm very used to just reading the pattern and just completely trusting the process and not really thinking about what that would look like or visualizing what I'm reading or anything. I'm just doing it line by line. You just have to pay a little bit more extra attention, look at the photos, look at Ravelry notes and stuff when you knit this, and then you'll be fine. So right now there's no progress, or The progress isn't linear from the last time. I will keep you updated on this one. And then my next project that I'm working on right now is a summer top to prepare me for the extreme hot Portugal weather. So this is knit up in Knitting for Olive pure silk. This is a barrette silk, so it's a matte type of silk. It has a lot of eyelets in it, just so that it will be extra airy. I'm also adding 10 centimeters of positive ease, and this is what it's looking like. This is how far I've come right now. My idea is just to knit straight until the armholes, and then I'll cast off some stitches and I'll make, I haven't decided on a neck yet. I was thinking maybe I can make it into like a vest and have a v-neck type of style, or maybe just like a boat neck like this, a bite top. I'd be interested to hear what you think. What would you prefer? Would you prefer a v-neck or just like a simple boat neck like this? I'm trying to hurry that up as much as possible because Filipa and I are hosting a Genie top KAL this upcoming May. I'm going to knit up the Genie top in Lanyon Amira, which is this beautiful chainette spun yarn. It's 93% cotton and 7% polyamide, and I'm doing it in this great green pistachio shade. Hello from the editing room. I realized just now that my camera overheated and it didn't capture that last bit of the footage. I highly encourage you to join this knitting KAL. It's going to be very fun. We already have like a group of, I think, 15 people. They're an Instagram group, so we're just going to be sharing the progress and sort of rooting for each other and talking and chatting about the process as it goes. So if you want to join that, just go on Instagram and send a message to either me and Filipa, and we'll add you to the group. So I hope you're having fun with your spring knitting, or maybe you're like me who's still rushing to finish some winter knit. In any case, let me know what you're knitting in the comments down below. It's always so nice to have a chat with you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.